And booyah. That's it, folks. Saturday morning, 6K is in the bag. I just posted on Instagram. I have a cold and it feels cold out, but those were both excuses. So I decided to fucking ignore that bullshit and get out here for that run. I feel so good. I'm so glad that I did. I'm breathing through my nose because nasal breathing is the default from here on out. I had Patrick McCone on the show this week from Oxygen Advantage. Follow him at Instagram. And he was just talking about how nasal breathing in all aspects of your life, almost 99% of the time, is the right thing to do. And when you don't do that, a lot of problems happen, including problems with your kids. So the episode's coming out soon. It was really amazing. I've been taping my mouth shut. Again, if you want to see a really bad S&M looking picture of me with my mouth taped shut, some of you might enjoy that. I get that, and that's cool. It's all good. You can go to Instagram as well at The Real Brian Rose and watch that. But 2 nights now with my mouth taped closed. And yeah, just getting into the rhythm. It's a great way as well of getting me to stay asleep by slowing my breathing down and also just help me sleep through the night. But so far the Aura ring says yes. So I won't say fuck you Aura today. I say thank you Aura today. So look, this morning I was just thinking about Jocko Willink in my head, and he's got a phrase called default aggressive. And you might expect something like that from a Navy SEAL, default aggressive. But as you can tell from Jocko, if you read his second book, The Dichotomy of Leadership, which was kind of really obviously an explanation of the first book, Extreme Ownership, by saying, you know what? Extreme ownership isn't always the way. And to be a good leader, which means being a good human, sometimes you have to have a dichotomy of leadership. Sometimes be extreme ownership, but sometimes maybe be an extreme delegate. And so I really appreciate that book. We've had Jocko on twice, one in the studio, one on the HMS Belfast here in London. So check that out. It was called Lessons from War. But this whole default aggressive, I was just asking myself, how come it was actually easy for me to get out this morning, even though I feel kind of sick, and I was at home and it was all cozy. I was playing with my boys. I was watching some Dan Pena in the background. It was all good. But for me, you know, so often now every day I prove to myself that I earned the day, that I actually feel bad if I don't earn it. And this is something I actually spoke to Nir Eyal about, because he's got a new book called Indistractable. But if you condition yourself to where if you don't do something, you feel bad, it's a great way to give yourself traction. And I guess I've kind of done this without even thinking about it. But now I just really can't live with myself if I don't do this. And it'll be bugging me all day. Like, you fucking pussy, you didn't get out. You haven't released your endorphins. You know, you're anxious, you're angry, you're aggressive. Like, why didn't you do that run? So for me now, it's just easier to do it. It's easier to go to work. It's easier to do 2 shows in a day. It's easier, you know, to get up in front of 1,000 people and speak, because I feel like I've earned it afterwards, and I feel like I can justify my existence for 24 more hours. So that whole default aggressive is something I think you can build into yourself over time if you just make sure you make those right choices every single day. And, you know, people have said this before, but if it looks hard, uncomfortable, or difficult, do it. It's usually a good sign. And if you condition yourself to do that over and over again, it does become a habit. And again, back to James Clear, Atomic Habits, you can set yourself up to where these things become part of your routine. And I think it's like 30 or 40 days to really form a habit. And I do think that's true. I've been taking a hot shower every night before I go to bed to raise my body temperature and allow it to drop so I can sleep better. And I used to think, what a pain to do a hot shower. Now, it's just my default. I do it. I don't even think about it anymore. So I've created a habit. It took maybe 20 days or 30 days, and now I have it. So just something I want you to explore today. Default's aggressive. What can you be doing in your life where you say yes to it right away? Yes, I'm going in. Yes, boss, I'm going to do it. Yes, honey, I'm taking the kids out. Yes, I'm going to go to the gym. Yes, I'm going to work harder. Yes, I'm going to do that. Default aggressive. I think it's a really interesting thing to entertain today. So those are my thoughts. I've now earned the day, and now I feel great. And funny enough, it stopped raining, right? Is that a coincidence or not? I don't know. So anyways, I'm off. Get up to Hampstead Heath sometime. It's absolutely stunning up here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Love you guys. Peace.